Tonight, WSU faces a class action lawsuit.
And the university increases tuition again.
And the mayor of Oakland defends her ICE raid tip-off. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Casey Shainline.
And I'm Matt Money. Welcome to Murrow News 8. 4 people have decided to open a class action lawsuit against WSU following the data breach last April when a hard drive containing personal information went missing. Charlie Nelson joins us from outside the administration office to explain what the plaintiff expects from the university in response. Charlie?
Yes, WSU lost over 1 million people's private information, and the lawsuit is open for those affected to join the case. The lawsuit claims that the university could have to pay up to $10,000 per individual affected. The drive was held in Olympia, Washington, with no video surveillance, and some of the information was not encrypted. Because of this, those affected believe WSU did not protect their information adequately.
I remember when the breach happened, so what do those affected want WSU to do?
The plaintiffs want WSU to fully disclose the nature of the information that was released and adopt better security practices. WSU sent out over 1 million notification letters to those affected, but the Office of the Attorney General has yet to give us any information on the lawsuit. Charlie Nelson, Murrow News 8.
Faculty at WSU continue to criticize President Schultz and for his plan to forgive debt owed by College of Arts and Sciences. Michael Neff, a professor with the Department of Crop and Soil Science, read a letter to the constituent at the Faculty Senate calling Schultz's decision unfair as he forgives some colleges' debt while requiring other departments to continue making budget cuts.
Students already facing a 2% tuition increase for the current academic year will have to prepare for another increase. Washington State University announced they will raise tuition by 2% again for the next academic year. In-state undergraduate students will now pay just over $9,700 for tuition. That means an increase of just under $200 from the current prices. WSU continues their success in research with another breakthrough that will make a difference for farmers. Kui Hug digs up more information on the latest in soil research.
Advances in soil testing from WSU will allow farmers to do in-the-field soil testing. One of these advances is looking to help farmers detect pathogens in their soil.
If we can understand what's in the soil, especially when it comes to pathogens, we can make decisions before planting.
Joey and his team changed the typical DNA kit to add more soil to it, change the amount of exposure to alcohol to improve the yield, use a micropestle to grind up the soil, and lastly add a detergent to the kit, which helps breaks down the protein and other negative things that affect the PCR reaction.
In the lab, you can notice this PCR machine. It is a normal lab standard PCR machine. Joey and his team use this PCR machine accompanied with this portable charger to allow people to use this PCR machine in the field work.
Basically, this new kit allows farmers to learn more about the soil that is in their fields on site.
If you're holding the soil in your field, and then what kind of pathogen is contaminated.
Allowing the farmer to take full control of their soil was something that didn't go unnoticed.
We want to bring that technology into the field, into the layman's hands, and allow them to experience it for themselves without having this barrier of not only cost and technology but understanding.
They have only tested the kit on potato pathogens. Farmers from around the area have already discovered diseases in their soil. Kui Hug, Murrow News 8.
A small group of public relations students at WSU began a campaign to combat childhood cancer. Members of the WSU chapter of the Public Relations Student Society of America will compete against 100 other teams across the U.S. to create the best PR campaign. The teams from Pullman decided to use their campaign to help the With Purpose organization fund research into a cure for childhood cancers.
My mom 2 years ago, actually on Mother's Day, we found out that she was diagnosed with breast cancer. So it really has a personal impact in terms of going through that experience with my mom and knowing how rough that was for my family.
As part of their campaign, the Bateman team will host a basketball tournament in partnership with the Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity next week. and all proceeds will be donated in the honor of former WSU student Ben Cushing, who passed away from leukemia.
When we return, we'll discuss the latest on President Trump and the gun control debate. And the president's latest efforts to stimulate the economy when we come back.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft. To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60. Now I get it.
President Trump shocked politicians in a televised meeting last night and frustrated some of his own party members. Republicans on Capitol Hill felt united in their plan to respond to gun law pressure, with plans to enforce school safety and improve background check system. However, President Trump had a more comprehensive plan in mind.
You have to look at the age of 21 for certain types of weapons. I mean, some people aren't going to like that, but you're going to have to look at that very seriously. And I think we're going to have a vote. I think it's going to be a very successful vote, and I will sign it.
Trump also implored lawmakers to expand background checks for online and gun show sales specifically. In addition to the televised meeting, Trump warned House Majority Whip Steve Scalise against trying to pass a concealed carry bill. Speaking of guns, a Georgia teacher is in custody for allegedly firing a shot in an empty classroom. Jesse Davidson, a Dalton High School social studies teacher, reportedly barricaded himself in a classroom and opened fire, with the principal unlocking the door. The school went on lockdown in response, but no students suffered any gun-related injuries.
President Trump, in an attempt to fortify the steel and aluminum industries, will impose a 25% tariff on those imports of those materials. It is still not clear whether the tariffs will phase out over time, but the order exempts countries who are steel-producing allies to the U.S. This action will likely get backlash from foreign countries and possibly incite a trade war. Federal officials say Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf the tip-off about immigration was irresponsible. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Deputy Director Thomas Homan says the mayor's decision to warn the illegal immigrants was irresponsible, and her decision to warn immigrants allowed them to elude federal officers. Homan claims there are 864 immigrants with criminal records at large living in Oakland. The U.S. Olympic Committee announced that Chief Executive Officer Scott Blackmun is stepping down from his position, citing health concerns. Blackmun made his decision to step down amid calls for his resignation from two different senators. While executive, Blackmun improved relations with International Olympic Committee and helped Los Angeles win the bid to host the 2028 Summer Games. He also faced scrutiny for an apparent reluctance to intervene in the Larry Nassar case. United States Olympic Committee board member Susan Lyons will take over as interim CEO.
When we come back, Afika Sham has us covered with a 5-day forecast.
When we return.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
I wouldn't use this one.
He helps me with my decision making.
Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Pullman started off the morning with some chilly snow, but the weather seems to get warmer throughout the day. Afiq, with the weekend fast approaching, should we brace ourselves for anything?
Well, Casey, I can almost certainly say that folks tonight should prepare for some slushy weather. We're going to have a bit of rain and snow mixed in, so if you're going to be walking about anywhere in town, you're going to want to be mindful of the puddles and make sure that your phone or other electronics don't get hit with water. And as you'll soon see, the weather applies to much of Washington State. On the east side in Spokane, you'll have temperatures ranging in the lower 40s to lower 30s with a bit of rain and snow, and the same can be said for central Washington as well with Wenatchee and Yakima. So if you're traveling anywhere in the region, just make sure that you plan well ahead in advance. The west side is a bit more of a different story. Well, anyways, for tomorrow's forecast, we're going to start off in the morning with some snow showers, but it's probably not going to stick as we're going to continue on throughout the day with more cloudy, chilly weather ranging from the mid to low 30s. And that's exactly how we're going to start off the 5-day forecast. Now, although we're going to have a bit of snow starting on Sunday, it's probably, again, not going to stick for very long. As we progress on throughout the week, we're going to have more clouds coming up with a little bit of sunshine here and there, with temperatures ranging from the lower 40s to upper 30s. It's still going to be very chilly, though, so I suggest that you guys keep track of your winter coats because we're not out of the winter season just yet. That's all I have for weather. Right back to you guys at the desk.
You know, with spring break approaching.
I know that we're probably both hoping to maybe not have snow for spring break.
That's all I care about right now. Thanks, Afiq.
And when we come back, we'll talk about the presentation in Moscow tonight when Murrow News 8 continues.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play or even what you wear. You just need to be there. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Keynote speaker Sophia Pereira will lead a She Should Run presentation at the University of Idaho tonight. The presentation discusses the importance of women running for public office. Various Idaho politicians will join Pereira, including former Idaho House of Representatives member and Moscow City Councilor. The event starts at 6 o'clock in the evening in the Commons at the White River Room at the University of Idaho Commons. Paulette Jordan, one of the politicians attending the discussion tonight, will join us live on our show tomorrow to discuss her career in politics. Jordan, a current gubernatorial candidate, hopes to become both the first female as well as the first Native American governor in Idaho history.
You're definitely not going to want to miss that. Having her come tomorrow on shot, that'll be a really exciting event for us. So.
Well, I definitely think that if she can become the first one, first Native American in history, that would be really a neat thing.
Yeah, almost historical.
Yes, I would say so. And as the thank you for watching, and join us every single weeknight at 7 and 10 p.m. for Pullman's only nightly newscast.
Have a great night, and don't forget to follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night, Pullman.
So I'm hoping for